Welcome back, guys. Time for It's the Law. The law is here. Attorney Jay Davis from James W. Davis & Associates. Jay, you weathered the storm. You're here.
Weathered it. We're here. Michael, looks like you made it too.
I made it. We both made it. We both made it.
It's been pretty good.
Something commissioners were torn on that a lot of Macon-Bibb residents were concerned about, are concerned about, and certainly need to be informed about is a property tax increase coming. What do folks need to know?
Yeah, they've raised the millage rate to 3% more, 17 point something. So that's a pretty significant from 14 to 17. So that's a pretty large increase. So we're going to see it at the end of the year, or next year, when the taxes come out for 2018. At the same time, we've got the garbage, which was changed back in March. They've been going back and forth whether or not they were going to let it go into effect, whether or not it was going to cause too much of a big deal. But instead of being quarterly, $60 most of the time per quarter, it's going to be a yearly thing of $240. But this year is going to get us at $300 because you got to pay your quarterly that's due in December, pick up the whole year next year all at the same time.
Yeah. And
so everybody's going to get hit this year and hit again next year.
Exactly, exactly. Why is it going up? And this is, folks, this is something, folks, you got to pay it. It's taxes.
That's right. Once these commissioners, it's 5-3 votes, so whichever way it goes is what happens. So you really need to look at why these things are happening. There's $12 million in the budget that's not really allotted for how it's going to get paid. So that's creating this increase. The question I think citizens need to sort of ask themselves and pay attention to is, what are all these things that we're increasing a budget for that makes these things necessary?
And that's really what it boils down to, because that's the question, why do we need to raise the budget? And it's a budgetary issue.
And Elaine Lucas made a really good point in one of the hearings. A lot of people bought into this idea that it was going to save money, the consolidation of the city and the county, that we're going to have one law enforcement rather than the police and the sheriff department, one fire department system that kind of covers everything. All of these things were supposed to be cost-saving measures. So why now are we feeling such a huge increase after all the savings that we're allowed to be voted in?
Yeah, and Jay, you're plugged into this. I know you keep up with a lot of people, talk with a lot of people. What's sort of, to wrap up, the reaction you've gotten from a lot of folks you know?
Most people that I've heard talk about it are really frustrated that this much of an increase has happened and that it's happening all at once. A lot of people are angry about the garbage, the way it's going to go 1 year where people are getting hit with such a large thing. Especially people on fixed incomes are having trouble with that. They're sort of accustomed to every 3 months having to pay $60 income of that, but that $240 hit right at the same time the property taxes are coming in. The frustration is sort of how it's sort of being thrown on them sort of all of a sudden without any sort of prep time to get ready for it.
Okay, well, we've certainly covered this, and you can check out sort of a timeline of events on our website, 41nbc.com. Jay, appreciate you answering that. If there's a question you want answered or a topic for Jay to discuss, just send us an email to itsthelaw@41nbc.com. We're wrapping up our Wednesday night. Let's get that last look at your forecast.